So, if you're thinking about building a new PC or maybe just upgrading your current one, you've probably noticed something is very wrong. You look at component prices and get some serious sticker shock. And let me tell you, this isn't just your normal market fluctuation. What we're seeing is a full-blown crisis. We're going to break down exactly what is happening, why your next build is going to cost way more, and what things are looking like heading into 2026. So, what's really going on here? Why are the absolute core parts of any PC, we're talking memory and storage, suddenly so expensive it's like they're luxury goods? This isn't just a simple case of supply and demand. The real answer lies with a massive technological revolution that is just gobbling up hardware at a speed we've never seen before.
And if you want to get a sense of the scale of this thing, just look at a huge PC builder like CyberPower PC. They recently had to jack up the prices on all their systems. And their reason? A 500% surge in the price they pay for memory. I mean, that's not a small price hike. That's the market literally breaking.
And this isn't just some abstract number for big companies. Let's make it real. Take a standard 32 gig kit of DDR5 RAM. Back in May of 2025, it was a pretty reasonable upgrade, right? About $120. By Christmas of that same year, it was over $400. The price more than tripled in just 6 months. Think about that. That one component now costs what an entire entry-level graphics card used to cost. It's wild. So what on earth could cause a market shock this huge? It's not a factory fire. It's not a shipping problem like we've seen before. No, this crazy demand is being driven by one single industry that has a seemingly infinite appetite for computing power. We're talking about an AI gold rush. Yep, the main culprit here is artificial intelligence. The global race to build and train these massive AI models has created what you can only call an insatiable demand for memory. And we're not talking about a small bump. We're talking about enormous data centers buying up hardware on a scale that just completely dwarfs the entire consumer PC market combined. See, the hardware that runs these big AI models, it doesn't use the same kind of RAM you and I put in our gaming PCs. They need something way, way more powerful. It's called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. You can basically think of it as memory on steroids. The chips are literally stacked on top of each other to create this super fast, super wide pipeline for data. It's the only way they can feed the gigantic data sets that these AI models chew through 24/7.
And here is the problem. That specialized HBM for AI data centers and the standard DDR5 RAM for your gaming rig, they come from the exact same place. They're built in the same handful of factories, run by the same 3 companies: Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. So what we have now is a direct bidding war. The AI industry and PC gamers are fighting for the exact same, very limited production capacity.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't speculation. Check out this quote from a top executive at Micron, one of those big 3 memory makers. This came out right when they announced they were killing off their popular Crucial brand of consumer RAM. They are openly, publicly shifting all their focus to their AI clients. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. The money being thrown around in the AI data center world is just too massive to ignore. Now, this memory shortage isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's not an isolated problem. It's actually the first domino to fall in a chain reaction that is now starting to knock over other parts of the PC hardware market. Okay, so here's how this whole cascade works. Step 1. The AI boom consumes all the high-end memory, which starves the consumer RAM market. Step 2. As a result, consumer RAM prices go through the roof. Step 3. The crisis then spills over into SSDs, because they're made in the same factories, and boom, SSD prices more than double. And then, the final, craziest step? Data centers get so desperate for storage of any kind, they start buying up old-school mechanical hard drives, causing a backlog of over a year for even that ancient tech. And the next domino? Well, it's already starting to wobble. You know the VRAM on your graphics card? Guess who makes that? Yep, the same companies. We're already hearing reports that VRAM is getting harder to find and more expensive to buy. And that can only mean one thing: higher GPU prices are next. So, where does this all end? When do things get better? We've been looking at what all the analysts and industry insiders are forecasting for the next couple of years. And I have to warn you, it is not a pretty picture. The clear consensus from everyone is that the worst is actually still to come. Prices are expected to hit their absolute peak around the middle of 2026. That's when the current supply is predicted to just be completely gone. We might see the first glimmer of relief in late 2027 as some new factories hopefully start to come online. But even a return to normal in 2028 is a huge question mark. It all depends on whether AI's hunger for hardware slows down, and right now, there's no sign of.
If there is one quote that just sums up this entire crisis, it's this one. This is from the CEO of Phison, a company that makes the controllers inside most SSDs. He said, flat out, that the entire world's production of SSD chips for the year 2026 is already sold out. Not for the next few months, for the entire year. It has all been pre-purchased by AI companies and other big enterprise clients. It's just gone.
Okay, so these are huge global market forces at play, but what does it all mean for you? If you just want to build a decent PC without taking out a second mortgage, what are you supposed to do? Let's break down some practical advice for trying to navigate this new reality. All right, here's the game plan. First off, if you absolutely need an upgrade, do it sooner rather than later. Every sign points to prices just continuing to climb from here. Second, you might actually want to consider a pre-built PC. Big companies buy parts in huge bulk and might have inventory that they bought at the older, lower prices. Third, if you're still dead set on building it yourself, you have to be realistic with your budget. You're probably looking at $1,000 minimum for a decent system now. And finally, don't hold your breath for big Black Friday or holiday sales on these parts. The demand is just way too high. In fact, things are so bad that motherboard sales have reportedly dropped by half. That's a huge sign that a ton of builders are just giving up for now. And really, all of this leads to one kind of stark conclusion. With memory and storage prices this high, the era of building a great sub-$800 DIY gaming PC is effectively on hold. It has become nearly impossible to put together a capable machine at that price point anymore. Which leaves us with a final, pretty unsettling question. As the priorities of the entire semiconductor industry shift to serve this AI gold rush, are we witnessing the end of an era? Is the hobby of affordable, accessible PC building becoming a casualty of the next big technological revolution? It's something we're all going to be watching very, very closely.